Our final presenter of the day, of the morning, that is, the day and morning, I guess. Fred Sotelo, the co-founder of Cerveza XTECA.
Thank you for having me here today. My name is Fred Sotelo. I'm co-founder of Cerveza XTECA. Cerveza XTECA was not inspired by the microbrewery explosion, but more in terms of a market demand of the Latino, Chicano, Mexican-American community. It was founded by three close friends that have been friends for 20 years, and in our explosion in San Diego, we asked ourselves, is there a beer that we all like? Most of them were either too bitter, too hoppy, or too something. And a lot of our peers felt the same way. So, as a Chicano Latino, we're kind of traditional. So we said, how do we create a beer that our own family would like, our peers and friends would like? And so what you tried today is a Mexican lager it's a version of a Mexican lager, but born in San Diego. That's why we say Mexican-American, just like us. We straddle two worlds, both craft and the Mexican tradition. From there, our goal was to create a beer that the San Diego Latino Chicano community would really like. So imagine you have two stadiums, a crowded one where you have 160 people trying to get on stage to perform in a full stadium, and then you have us in our own stadium with the same amount of people, and there's only two of us appealing to our market. Very few people in our market. So when we're in the community, there's companies that don't look like us. So it's been really good to get embraced by our community, and more importantly, our price points. We came in at $9.99 retail for a 4-pack. We have a 6-pack version coming out as well. And we're really excited because when you run around here, most of the community that sees our brand is gravitated towards it.
Good stuff. Well done.
Thank you.
Tom, I think you mentioned lagers are kind of difficult to make. What do you think of Cerveza XTECAs?
I love the idea and I embrace the desire to kind of cross borders. What's interesting, and I've had your beer before in Logan Park, by the way. What's interesting to me is this beer in itself, for me, was it had some quality issues. I mean, for me, it was DMS laden. There was just a lot of cooked corn, and it was hard for me to get past. If I could get past that, I think it would be fine. I think there just needs to be some cleanup on the beer.
Outside the beer itself, outside the liquid, is surrounded. There's a can. There's a label around the can. Fred, what do you think of it?
I noticed the thing around the can too. That was weird. Love the focus. Obviously, you know who you're for. Mexican Americans celebrating that, I think, is really wonderful. The tough thing for me is it feels like you're relying on kind of category conventions or what is expected of what this beer should look like. You're ushering in a new brand for a new era, in my perspective, and the visual language doesn't quite mirror that yet. It feels as if this brand could have been on shelves 10, 15 years ago, and maybe I just started to find it. As a new entrant, I think you want people to know that you're a part of this new movement. So that, to me, is the one thing that's missing out. I also thought that the necklace on the young lady looked a little like the Tecate logo, the bird. So the similarities there, I think, are something that we'd want to maybe avoid.
Carmen, Fred mentioned you might see this a few years ago. What do you think of the opportunity right now for a Mexican-style beer, and in Cerveza's case, an opportunity for this brand?
Well, we've seen imports grow in a really huge way, so I think that there's obviously an opportunity there, and I really appreciate that it's an opportunity that's brought forward by people who are and know the culture. So I think that there's a lot of credibility in what you guys are trying to do, and I think that if you can present, as Fred said, a brand that's a little bit more new and relevant, that will help get more people into the category.
Great. All right. Excuse me. About 4 things. Number 1, I've been doing this a few times now, and this group that presented today were fantastic. I really, really appreciated hearing all the presentations. How about a round of applause for all of our semifinalists? And another one for our fantastic judges. Okay, there you go.